Cool overcast conditions confronted the 57 entrants into this year's Volkswagen Algoa Rally, held over a total distance of 500 kilometres from Oudtshoorn through the Longkloof to the friendly city of Port Elizabeth. The four classes, Class A having 12 entries, Class B 10, Class C a mammoth 20 and 11 in Class D. Stage 1 was held at the airfield outside of Oudtshoorn. Here, Cyril van der Merwe racing in Class B, hoping to pick up necessary points after a very good showing in the recent Stanek trial.
There was a big crowd. We're woken to the sound of these powerful rally cars in action in Oudtshoorn before they set off down the Longkloof. And the man who wanted to wrap up the championship for the day was Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide here in the Toyota Conquest RSI on their way in stage 1. 14 stages altogether, totaling 200 kilometres of special stages. And of course the man that covers that distance in the shortest time is going to win this rally. Serge very relaxed, as was Johan Iwitzer. He won the Castrol Rally. He's lying third in the South African Rally Championship at the moment in the Lindsay Sacred Golf, and very confident he is too. Lifting that inside back wheel. Johan Iwitzer, known as Evie to the rallying community, also shows people how to drive cars in an advanced driving position. He's very, very good on the dirt and on the tar, as you see him here. But the heat was on. It was between the Toyotas, that was Serge Damso, and this man, Eric Saunders, who was going to be fastest around the stage. He was leading the Castrol Rally when he retired, and Eric very, very fast indeed in the Class A Toyota Conquest. On their way down to the showgrounds now, and the feet are right down in the hook as they make their way down to the second stage. And here's the captain of the flagship of the Nissan Rally team, that's Hannes Krobler and Piet Swanepoel, also pressing on as they make their way down towards the second stage. And a lot expected of this 16-valve centre in this rally. As we see Serge Damso hard at work there now. He was second in the first stage ahead of Van der Merwe, but behind Eric Saunders, who's putting on the pressure. Here's Johan Iwitzer, very, very quick indeed with his navigator, Steve Harding. You can see our camera in the motor car. There it is in action.
Grid on left. Point 2, grid on left. Point 1.
And that's what it looks like from inside, and this is what it looks like from the outside with this 1800cc 16-valve Golf hard at work. As he comes to the end of stage 3, still lying very much in the picture is Johan Iwitzer. And here are the spectacular cars of South African rallying in action. Beautiful sounding motors, the straight 6 Skyline engine, the Natal rally champion Jannie Hubbing at the wheel. Just listen to that lovely symphony of sound as he goes through these very fast dusty stages in the lowlands around the mountains down the Longkloof, and they're going to be making their way up into those steep mountains a little later in the rally. Sounds magnificent. His navigator, Douglas Judd, making up an all-engineering team. One is a civil engineer, the other one a mechanical engineer, and a great combination. And these are the cars that the spectators love to see. As soon as they've gone past, you find the spectators walking away from the stages and going to find them somewhere else later in the rally. Hurrying along at 180 plus in these big Skylines. Good crowd watching this rally along the various stages, but hard to get into the stages. We go to the foot of the Prince Alfred's Pass, and this is the dangerous one. This is where the navigator sits back and watches the scenery, and for the first time, navigators saying that they felt just a touch nervous. As we go up this very, very steep pass, if you fall off this one, it could be absolutely terminal. Cyril van der Merwe in action, his navigator, South African Springbok navigator, Frans Boshoff. Cyril, of course, and that's not tipping the camera that angle there. Cyril, of course, 11-time South African champion as he hurries along this road. Now a scratch on the motor car. Class B, the chosen, so he wants to get maximum points. He felt that in Class A he was up against the heavy competition from the four-wheel drive cars, and his car was taken over by Glenn Hall, who does a lot of preparation of the Volkswagen Rally team. Here's Serge Damso. Just look how steep that hill is. It's the type of road that you'd go up very carefully in a four-wheel drive car, and they're racing along at these speeds and down this sort of hill. His navigator from Welkom, Vito Bonafide, they've been together for something like 11 years. They know each other's habits and tactics very well. Vito knows when to sit back and enjoy the scenery, at other times to give instructions. But here he is, going very, very quickly. Very few instructions on the route card. And you could hear these cars through the mountains. It was really sound coming at you for something like 30 minutes before they arrived, as you heard them going up and down the hills, going around behind other hills, and suddenly they'd appear in sight, going very quickly indeed. Jan Iwitsa, the Lindsay Sakers Golf. His navigator Steve Harding sits very low in the motor car. Here they are in action. 180, 360 degrees, the car goes sideways.
This was on stage 7, with all the drivers looking forward to that welcome luncheon break. At lunch, Serge Damser, an overall time of 59 minutes and 50 seconds, only 15 seconds behind at that stage. Eric Saunders with Cyril van der Merwe, 1 minute and 51 seconds behind the leader.
And going into the Kogerberge was Cyril van der Merwe, leading Class B, only with 30 seconds in hand over that spectacular skyline of Jannie Hubbig and Douglas Judd. And just behind them, another 9 seconds behind, was Johan Iwitsa in the Volkswagen. So the heat was on there in Class B. So Cyril had to press on, as he's doing here now. Toyota was leading Class C, was Nick de Waal and Guy Hodson. All Toyotas there, Rule of Fecken, Jordan, and then the Van der Westhuizens ahead of Glenn Gibbons, who'd gone off the road. And Cyril certainly pressing on. In Class D, once again, was the Toyota of Enzo Kuhn. He was there with Martin Lettler leading the D class. That's for the 1600cc class. But here's the man on the way to his championship, Serge Damsu. He's done it in racing, he's done it in rallying, a very competent driver, a well put together team. The pressure from his own team was Eric Saunders, not too far behind him. And Serge was very relaxed throughout this whole rally. You can see the roads were dry and dusty as the long, hot afternoon progressed, and making their way down towards Port Elizabeth. Spectacular there in the long kloof. You could hear these cars in the far distance, these powerful rally cars. Eric Saunders coming up this hill towards us on those marbles. You'd need a four-wheel drive bucky or a car to come up this hill, but to go this speed, you need an extra amount of skill. Navigating there, helping him around the corners, telling him how far to go before he's got to turn left or right. That car revving way into the 8th there. Four-wheel drive Toyota, some of the unique rally cars that you find in South Africa, going so well, in a pair of very competent hands and navigating crew. This navigator from East London is Tila van Westenhagen as they come up towards us. And you can so easily make a mistake and run off these roads and put her into your rally championship hopes. And here comes Hubbig. Jannie Hubbig, the skylines that everybody's come to see, hurrying along here, having this fight with Iwitsa behind Cyril van der Merwe. Nuno de Cunha, the all-Middelburg team, has got his navigator there, Paul Rouillard, going very well indeed. He suffered 2 punctures and a little bit of fuel injection trouble during the rally, putting on a competent performance as he's done in every single rally throughout this year. Just listen to that lovely skyline at work. They love it. They love the sound of that competent motor hard at work as it goes up into the mountains. And then we've got Rula Fecken, second in Class C at the time, getting a wee bit bogged down from a family of rallists who have done so well in South African rallying. As we went into the final stage in Port Elizabeth, a huge crowd came to see the action at the Checkers Warehouse. Cyril van der Merwe now knew that he couldn't win the rally overall, but he had to stay ahead of these other cars in Class B, and that's for cars from 2-litre to 3-litre with 2-wheel drive, and he gave them a great show there. Still being told which way to go by his Springbok navigator, Frans Boshoff, and this crowd were just loving this show in the late afternoon in Port Elizabeth. And we're certainly going to see a lot more of this team in action. And the man who's only one stage to go there now, he was leading the championship. And this rally, by something like 20 seconds, he had this stage to finish. And the championship, the South African championship, still with 2 rounds to go, was going to this combination. Serge Damsu does well in racing. And they love it. They just love it. And he reacts to the encouragement from the crowd.
And so, yet another near-perfect performance by Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide coming through in their Toyota in fine style to win this year's Volkswagen Algoa Rally, winning 8 of the 12 stages. 2 of the stages, incidentally, were cancelled, one because of a faulty timekeeper's watch, and secondly, a farmer wouldn't allow the racers to use his track. Teammate Eric Saunders and the highly competitive Van der Merwe each bagged 2 stages.
Serge, 5 out of 6 national championship rallies is now in the bag.
Yes, I must say we've had a good season, and of course we got one of the best cars for a change. So, you know, we've been battling for quite a few years. It seems things have come together.
But it looked today that you're just taking it easy. It all seems so smooth and no hitches at all.
I had my teammate Eric give me a hard time in the beginning, but he gave me pressure, I must say, and kept me on my toes.
Wrapping it up for Toyota, a great second place today, Eric.
Yes, we had a good result. We were very, very pleased.
Because you've had a bit of an up and down season, haven't you?
Yeah, the beginning of the season was bad. You know, we couldn't get it together, but the last 2 rallies have been great. They've been very good.
Nice to have it all wrapped up with just 2 rallies to go, Ian.
Yeah, it's been quite a long struggle, but we finally made it. This is really the highlight of the year for me, having not only a first and second on this event, which is what we've been working towards, but also having Serge wrap up the championship with 2 events to go. It's magic.
Yeah, so now you can relax.
Well, not quite. You know, we're not going to lie down and let the opposition run over us. No, we'll carry on working. We'll have a bash at the last 2 events as well.
Yeah, but this is a real highlight for Toyota. You've been going a long time now, for many years, to pull off an overall championship win like this.
Yes, well, if my memory serves me correctly, then this is the first time that we've actually had a South African champion in a Toyota. So for me, it's an absolute highlight, yes.
The 2 Toyotas taking first and second place with Damso and Bonafide, followed by Saunders and van Westerhagen. Van der Merwe and Boshoff in 3rd position, followed by Evertse and Harding, with Habig and Dad in 5th, and in the 6th position, Nick de Waal and Hudson.
And by classes, the 4-wheel drive class went to the 2 Toyotas, with Glyn Hall taking over Sorrel's car in 3rd position. It's Sorrel, Van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff bringing home the Volkswagen to win Class B ahead of the Lindsay Sakers team of Evertse, and a clean sweep for the Toyotas in Class C. And Class D, another Toyota win, the Enzo Kuhn and Martin Blettler coming home to win the 1600cc class. Been a very well organised rally by the Algoa Motorsport Club. The next and 7th round of the South African Rally Championship is down in the Western Cape in September.